Right, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going to try this again because while doing the video just now, I had said during the video that we were having problems. And while doing the video, it was being interrupted, and then something other than me switched off the video. So I'm going to try it again to see what happens, because the issues we're discussing are very serious and critical issues. And I'm going to try it again to see what could happen here now, because I want to test. I have another device, and push come to shove, I'll delete both of those videos and do it over. I have the time for this, you know. I have the time and the commitment of what I do. So if those outside who feel they're going to arbitrarily shut this down, they're damn well wrong. We will wait till the audience builds up. Please share this video and we'll start it over. Let's try it again.
Tenors rolling, people on the floor, hear the guitar and grumble, and the crowd in a uproar. All of a sudden, everything just up and chill, everything just gone to a standstill. The crowd started to skip, we're wrong with the band. It wasn't wrong with the iron wall and fall, because the vibration was very well in. When the iron fall, it humbled the band, and everything started crawl, everything started fall, and the truth was lazy. The engine room is down the way that's caused the back canal. The pan is the body, but the rhythm is harder the thing. The engine room, that is the solar carnival. Oh, we did damn well say, if you iron good, you is king. You hear? Check your grandmother, the neighbor next door. If the times didn't change her, or now we'll still be in the war. That is the same one who put out your mother because she was in love with this fine man. She used to open the church door just for prayer on the head. Now she goes into the neighbor next door. Oh, my granddaughter beats for a steel man. If it wasn't for you, girl, your daddy would have been so dread. But when you see her in the pain, you just have to take again and take it out on the street.
Let me go back inside. Now, I don't understand. I was watching. I told you all in the video, you could go back and you could see. I raised the concerns because things were going on, and I'm telling you that the video wrapped itself up and gave me options and answered itself. I've never seen something like that. It's almost as if something external was controlling the device. There's no other explanation. We turned things around. I rebooted, changed passwords. And we're trying again. I have another device with another provider on standby in case something happens again. The issues that have to be discussed are critical to Trinidad and Tobago. We need to wake our people up. Trinidad is a country that has been stolen. It has been stolen by some unseen hands. Well, they're seen, but you don't know. When you know them, you don't know. And I was going to tell somebody something earlier. I don't want to say this. All those people you're trying to please, so they don't bad talk you, they're bad talking you already. We are a nation of crabs in a barrel, where everyone else pulling everybody else down. So if the only thing that's keeping you from speaking out against the injustice, the banditry, the corruption in this country is wondering what other people are going to think, forget that. They don't do like you. We invent a saying for that in this nation. Not every skin teeth is a smile. Stand up for yourself and your country. I hear girls that telling you, I know girls and their best friend. Let the best friend make a wrong move wrong, you know, and she tell you everything. How that girl is a hoe, and she know her long time, and she know what, tell all her stories. She is nasty, you know. We is one macro country. You know? So don't feel that you need to pretend. Because people only tolerating each other. You know? As long as they getting away with their bullshit, they can lie with you. Test the water. Test it tonight. Ask your partner. Ask your brother. How it is you have so much and all you do is that little business? How? See what you say. Check him. Check it. So if you defending people wrongdoing so they could invite you over Christmas Day, come on, man. Do better, man. Do better for yourself. Do better for your country. You know who people like? The people they respect. That's who they like. The people that they respect. The people that they know. Don't try shit wrong me. Don't try it wrong me. I ain't want to fake friends. I don't want you to like me because I letting you get away with shit. Friend that. Don't try shit wrong me. And anybody in the Progressive Empowerment Party party knows that if we ever get into government. Don't try shit wrong me. Every pot will sit on its own bottom. Do not. Don't do it now. People leave the PP because they come into the party and try to throw their weight around with who they are and what they have. Take you and that and haul your ass. And build your own party. We have plans, programs, policies, ideas, ideologies, principles. We have an actual organization. In this party, don't do that. Don't do that. Trinidadians need to understand, each of us as citizens, the one thing that gives us a culture shock when we go away is people don't really mix up with one another. You could live next door to a man or a woman or a family for 20 years. You ain't know them. Trinidad, by the second day, everybody know everybody and who family and where they come from and everything. That's Trinidad. But in the States, they don't care. And if you play in your TV loud and there's a woman screaming on the TV and it's sounding like you're beating your wife, your neighbor call the police for you. And if you're really beating your wife, your neighbor calling the police for you. Teachers calling police for you if your child reached the school with a black eye. Doctors calling police for you if your children have injuries that you can't explain, that are not easily explained. It's called for investigation. Trinidad and Tobago, bullshit. Oh, go all of that slide now, man. She was making noise and I lose my temper. Lose your temper, but they lost your ass in jail. The truth of the matter is, it is more important that you take your responsibilities seriously than your bullshit. In Trinidad, we treat bullshit with a kind of respect that I've never understood. I see people that bad talk each other to me on separate occasions that when you see them together, you swear they share a womb, boy, ride or friggin' die. We all have a duty to this country. And if we don't understand that yet, and we're not realizing yet that governments come and governments go, nothing changes. That the Lodge and the Chamber of Commerce, Manufacturers Association, Clydesdale Club, Union Club, all them old boys clubs and organizations, their role and responsibility to society is to protect the interests of their members, not you, not Trinidad and Tobago. And that's why I tell the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce, they could kiss my half-red ass. Because if the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce gave a shit, a kernel of corn stuck in a lump of shit, if the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce cared one iota about Trinidad and Tobago, they would have expelled Kiss Making Company for breaking the law. masquerading behind a Quelo brand and abusing, suffering people, sending them out to stand up in carbon monoxide for the day, risking robbery, injury, death, soak in the rain, bake in the sun, sell bread on special, to run small bakeries out of business. That's the whole plan, you know. All them sufferers work loss the minute all them bakeries close down. The minute all the small bakeries in the country close down, all them sufferers, you see working, selling kiss, helping entrepreneurs, bullshit with me and that, man. That done. That done. The day Kiss succeeded in the war with Quelo, the next day on the trade, I know, I used to work Quelo. The next day on the trade, the bags came out with the new price, already printed on the bag, not stick on. It didn't go from $1.99 to $3.79 with a sticker. Those bags were ready. The shift changed. Price gone up. And you paid the cost of the buyout. Like you, every time you pull over, thinking you're helping an entrepreneur, you actually closing down the small bakery that's still keeping the price manageable. Because the day they have you, it dies it. Is eat their bread or eat dirt. This is why all of the vendors and all the farmers are in trouble. This is why neither the PNM nor the UNC has engaged in any meaningful agricultural exercise based on making Trinidad food self-sufficient. They'll bullshit you. Great cassava, peel cassava. I remember, never forget Kamla. Kamla tell them she used to bundle bhaji and sell bodi. And she spent 5 years in government and not one bhaji farm or bodi farm get established in the country. Trinidad and Tobago. You see, the people who wash in large sums, hundreds of millions of dirty dollars, need you to give them all your business so that all the money could wash and nobody can complain. Look at, they have businesses in this country that doing millions in sales every month and nobody will push the dollar now. They have lotto machines in this country, high-performing lotto machines that are not open to the public. They're doing the biggest sales of all, you know. Trinidad and Tobago. If you think that the criminal problem we have to deal with is them little black hen chicken running around playing shoot 'em up Charlie, you're mad, you know. You're not paying attention. Trinidad is a criminal enterprise from the top down. There is a reason we've never secured our borders. It's not that we don't know how to. You can Google how to secure borders. There are people in the world, professionals, you can hire that will come and show you how to secure your borders. So even if all our police is shit-ons, and all our army is shit-ons, and the entire Coast Guard is shit-ons, foreign people will come and do it. But our police is not shit-ons, our army is not shit-ons, and our Coast Guard aren't shit-ons. They are just paid to fail. Because the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service could be manifestly functional in 6 months, where no crime could escape. Properly set up, organized, operationalized, incentivized, motivated, properly funded, sent to do their business. The Coast Guard, Trinidad Coast Guard men, highly trained. I know that. I know they're highly trained. Paid to fail. It is somebody's plan that all of the drugs pass through Cedros and South Trinidad. But we've set it up so we have a continuous sting operation running in Chagaramas. If you play the ass and come up there with drugs, we will hold you. Anywhere else, pass free. Anywhere else in Trinidad, pass free. Chagaramas, we have that lock. Why? You trying to tell me not one single Minister of National Security, all of them sit down there and say, oh God, boy, Philip, the things that has come out your mouth, you're afraid, boy. What I don't understand is, Everybody knows this. The entire country knows that we have a problem with cocaine and dirty money passing through Trinidad and Tobago, but nobody will talk about it. We had a commission of inquiry. The Scott drug report was a duly constituted and established commission of inquiry into the drug trade in Trinidad and Tobago. You know how powerful the drug traffickers are in Trinidad and Tobago? That drug report never make it to the parliament. Never make it to the parliament. We did Justice Scott. It wasn't something they find in a latrine that Peltway, you know. It was expensive investigation into the drug trade. They had names. They knew who. They knew which police officer. It went all the way to the commissioner. We knew. We knew which stores in town used to get a kilo of coke a week. We knew. We live in a country where we think we have Dolce and Joey Ramaya and some sufferers and problem done. Done. Trinidad and Tobago, our country. We move in with these people. We live in alongside them. We have governments, prime ministers who chair the National Security Council who can't tell you how the cocaine passing. Well, give up. Why we don't subcontract our law enforcement? If we can't do the work, if what the PNM and the UNC saying is that our police is shithounds, if that's what the PNM and the UNC want you to believe, hire foreign police. Trinidad's a dot. You could monitor Trinidad from space. It's a dot. We're less than a dot. We don't qualify as a county or a borough in a developed nation. Subcontracted. If Trinidad Police, Trinidad Coast Guard, Trinidad Army can't stop the drugs, bring people who could. Bring people who could. Why are you not making that the conversation we have? Why? When the PNM and the UNC pick up $25 billion of the people's money, I showed Trinidadians, I did some arithmetic, $25 billion that we bailed out Clico with. They say we have 110,000 houses applications at HDC. They say that the schools they deteriorated. Healthcare in trouble. Did you hear this? The $25 billion that we bail out Clico with could have built 200,000 houses, 100 brand new schools, and 50 healthcare centers. We could have rebuilt every police station, every fire station. We could have given water for all and still have change. $25 billion is almost 50% of 1 year's budget that we just pick up and throw away. If that $25 billion was sitting down in Citibank, we gotta get 10% interest a year. It would already be $44 billion, ready to double to $50 billion. So our money, we've never gotten it back. The PNM and the UNC have put their friends in office to run big companies, Angostura, One Woodbrook Place. Go and do a commission of inquiry into One Woodbrook Place. Go and find out what those apartments sold for. Find out what they're worth. Find out what the people who bought it sold it for in a week. Find out, don't ask those questions. You're not. You're letting the media distract you with bullshit. And you're filling up social media with bullshit. You're coming on threads and attacking the people who are actually trying and fighting for a better country because you agree in people's right to be wrong. These same people that in government today was in government under Manning. Rowley bring 2 new jackers, 3, Shamfa, Daryl, and Stuart. 3 new jackers with him. The rest are the same Manning cabinet that Rowley said was the most corrupt cabinet in this country's history. Keith Rowley said that. Keith Rowley said that. Colin Imbert, as corporation sole, appointed Emil Elias to run TSTT. Emil Elias said that the police should investigate Colin Imbert and that he should be charged. The same Emil Elias. Keith Rowley, Colin Imbert said when he stood with Manning that Rowley had questions to answer at Cleaver Heights and Landgate. There is honor in this country among politicians if you're willing to shut your mouth and toe the line. You see, I'm talking nothing about the UNC. Kapande and Mekela, that piece of bullshit, I'm waiting to see where that go. Because the most Basdeo Pandey could do, and he know, is fool Indian people. So that whole conversation with Pandey now is this. Kamala, you don't want to let my daughter inherit my party. I'm going to create another party, and I know that all I could do is bust UNC throat. Can't win an election. Mekela can't win a running race. Mekela has no political career, but so does Rowley. Rowley has no political career, and yet he's the Prime Minister, so I mean, anything is possible. After Faris and Rowley, tonight I'm talking to lawyers, and I'm talking to them in the gym, and we agreed that the girl behind the counter who receives the cards when we come in the gym, she would be a better Attorney General than Faris. So the next Attorney General don't have to know much law. They just need to not fail as much as Faris. As your country. That's what you defend. When you defend the PNM, and you only defending the PNM, because them Indian mustn't see power again, you're cutting your own throat. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. And when the Indians do that, when the UNC supporters talk the same shit, the damn African can't run nothing. What did the UNC run? The country into the ground. How does Kamala defend her $300 billion in budgets by saying they did more than the PNM or the Tiflis? But they don't go through and tell you, this is what you do, this is what we did. Because anybody with a little bit of schooling could put costs to those things as you claim them. The Education Facilities Company Limited is the Education Facilitation of Crime Limited. That company only set up to waste $5 billion a year. That's all it does. If we were properly spending and accounting for the $5 billion spent on education every year, all schools in Trinidad would be prestige schools, but we're not. This is a country where nobody uses the phone book, but TSTT pays somebody to print the phone book every year and then give it to Massey on contract to give out, that after a couple of weeks they dump it, because nobody takes it. The Education Facilities Company Limited printing books every year that are different to the books from the year before, so that your child in standard 4 can't pass it on to the child in standard 3. It must be a new book this year. Because it's Trinidad and Tobago. And they have nobody to ask those questions. They have nobody in this country to stand up and say, hey, we can do this better. We shouldn't be printing books at all. We care about the environment. There's a lot of trees that we destroy, and we can put all of the books on the cloud. We can give every teacher a big screen TV in the class and run all of the education from there. For the money that we save, every school could get a generator in case current go, because people say, why the current go, they can't read. I know my objectors. I know my haters now. So I don't think, and then I don't think, what would the haters say? Sometimes the haters is just end up with, well, it's a good start. That's not a good start. Massey's stunt is not a good start. A good start is a good start. Stop wasting the term. Set your standards a little higher. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to do that. We can have a country that works. Again, understand. If oil and gas alone made us the third wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere, what would a proper agriculture sector on top of that have done? Let's deal with the donkey economics. As Corbyn Botha said, a better day has come. Recession over. Now, for those of you who don't know, a recession is when you have 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth. So when that you have 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth, you're in recession. They've said we're in recession for 2.5 years. No problem. No problem. All of a sudden, recession done. For you to be able to say that the recession is over calm, there must have been 1 quarter of positive growth. The media has not asked you that. But I am asking you. Does central bank know that we had a quarter of positive economic growth? Is the recession over? Can you now cancel your need for the property tax that you said the economy is in dire straits and you can't get money to pay bills and that you need a property tax to pay those bills? Which is true. Which of those 2 statements is true? It's like when TV6 told the nation last week that car theft, that according to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, car theft is up. Be cautious. At the same time, CNC3 was broadcasting that larceny of motor vehicles was down, according to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Now, it's either the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is bipolar, or the media don't even fact-check anything at all. How do you have 2 media houses publish 2 stories from the same source that directly contradict each other? How is that possible? How is it possible? Is it that one of them didn't actually go to the source? Is the media broadcasting Moviland and Old Talk? Or are they just making up the news as they go along? Did somebody from CNC3 call a partner in the police and say, hey boy, how can TFM going nowadays? Good, bad, what? Somebody said that the weather report is a string hanging outside the office. When they hire a meteorologist, they tell them, look outside. If the string moving, tell them it's windy. Touch it. If it's wet, tell them it's raining. It's Trinidad. You can do shit and get away with it. How do we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, continue to accept all of this? How does a minister of finance tell an entire nation that he has conned with his fake recession and convinced, while the rest of the global economy, because I've been saying this for years now, the rest of the global economy is booming, only Trinidad and Tobago in recession? We've done nothing whatsoever to diversify the economy. How does the Minister of Finance get away with telling the nation that the recession is over without backing it up with fact? How does that happen? Where was the positive quarter on which we can rely that ended the recession? Mr. Imbert, where's that? Forget that. Come back to this. If oil and gas alone made us the third wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere, imagine us with a properly optimized and operational pitch lake. Imagine us with 15 marinas doing cruise ship tourism with the 15 largest cruise ship companies in the world. Imagine us engaged in proper shipping turnaround because we're located outside of the hurricane belt in spitting distance of the Panama Canal, properly located between North, Central, and South America. Imagine us in shipping turnaround. I want you to understand this. I had to explain this about it today. Look around you. Look around you, wherever you are, unless you're sitting in the desert or the middle of the ocean. Everything around you at some point was shipped to you. Right now, they're the biggest industry in the world. Shipping doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Ships are built and launched, and they don't stop till they die. Shipping is a massive, massive business. And people don't understand how shipping works, so I have to break it down for somebody. Now, this is an example, so don't Google this, but Google similarities to this. If you are in Trinidad and you would like to send a shipment of washicons to Australia, we don't have any ships leaving from Trinidad going straight to Australia. So what happens is a shipping agency works out the best route to get your shipping container of washicons to Australia. So this is how they do it. A ship passing through Trinidad picks up your container and drops it in Miami, where a ship passing Miami on its way to England picks up your container and drops it in England. And a ship passing England going to China picks up your container and drops it in China. And a ship leaving China heading to Australia delivers your container of washicons in Australia. Now your container of washicons just saw Miami, England, China, and Australia. That's how shipping works. If you look at documentaries on Singapore, the largest shipping country in the world, the massive in this, ships, there are ships that pull up in the port, I swear, big like Tobago, that pull up in Singapore. They pull up for 2 hours, you know, engines idling. Mankind have no time to waste. Shipping is massive money, lose or win. And they pull up. It is the people on the port already understand the ship that is coming, and they understand its next port of call, and all of the items that go into the next port of call are ready to load. The people on that ship have identified by barcode, computerized, all of the containers that are coming off that ship is packed this way. From the moment that ship pulls into the harbor, they have 2 bosses that are responsible for the time, and they count the minutes in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And those 2 bosses are the offload team and the onload team. And the offload team have full authority on that ship the moment it's docked, to take everything off according to the manifest that is coming off here in Singapore. And the moment all is off, a whistle is blown. And that boss hands over to the onload boss. And his team, who's standing by ready, have everything that is going according to the manifest onto that ship. And when he done, he stand down and the captain gone away. That's how shipping is done. Now I want to give you that little exercise so you understand. Dubai, either the 11th or the 13th largest economy in the world now, they have oil and gas. They just built all those massive islands in the sea, Palm Island and the world and all those things. Google that. Beautiful thing to see. Hundreds of billions of dollars in real estate they created by sucking sand from the bottom of the ocean, piling it on top of each other and making them into islands. An amazing thing to see. But Dubai didn't make its money from oil and gas. Dubai made its money in shipping. Singapore, top 15 economies in the world, has no natural resources. All Singapore does is shipping. Now ask yourself, if oil and gas made us the 3rd wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere, imagine if we built a proper shipping industry, being as we are, outside of the hurricane belt, perfectly located between North, Central, and South America, and in spitting distance of the Panama Canal. Imagine this country as a turnaround destination for ships, where crews, because I just told you the ships don't stop, but people have to go home to their family. So there are certain destinations along the shipping route where crews change hands, and the oil gets checked, and the gas gets filled, and all of the groceries gets put into the ship. That, they will stay for a day for that. And all of that happens. And there are people working on the ship who are one from Argentina, one from Africa, one from China, one from America, one from Canada. They all come from the same place. They're working for the ship company. And they all fly to Trinidad. They're the crew going on, and the crew come off, and they fly to all their countries where they're going home. Shipping turnaround requires a proper port, something 10 times the size of what we have, properly built in Point Lisas, but we're naturally sheltered. Point Lisas is perfect for this, and we're outside of the hurricane belt. They would love us. They would love to do this here. You imagine this country where Tobago is a cruise ship. We put 1 million feet on the ground. That's the target. 1 million tourist feet on the ground in Tobago every year. And we become a major player in shipping while we also have oil and gas. That would make us very wealthy. And imagine, with all of that, we properly optimize the pitch lake. It's the only one of its kind at that size that could service the world. And we're supposed to be making hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars from the pitch lake. And I don't know where that money going, but if you put me in office, I'll find out. Because we need to know. We absolutely need to know what's being done with our money. But imagine if we properly optimize the pitch lake. So now we're in shipping turnaround, massive money, and we're a shipping port, massive money, and we're a cruise ship destination, massive money, and oil and gas. Imagine the country then, and wait. We still could be food independent. We could be a net food exporter for things like guava, avocado, cocoa, that are in real demand. And Trinidad avocado is the best in the world. And Trinidad cocoa is the best in the world. And Trinidad pepper, according to the Scoville units that measure it, is the second hottest pepper in the world and is in demand for pepper spray. Imagine Trinidad and Tobago in the food export business, on top of being in the tourism shipping business, the cruise ship business, on top of being in shipping turnaround, on top of being in a proper port shipping destination, on top of having oil and gas, on top of the pitch lake. Imagine this country. Imagine how wealthy this country could be. The richest nation in the world, per capita. That's what we have. That's what we still have. God not a Trini. If God is a Trini, God is a comedian. The reason we don't have natural disasters hitting Trinidad and Tobago is because we have the PNM and the UNC. Neither of those bandit clans have ever cared about you. The pleasure craft industry is another $1 billion a year that we lose out on. We're giving 1%ers shagaramas to carve up and build play areas for the children. When shagaramas supposed to be right now, besides being farmland, because shagaramas is some of the most fertile land in the country, probably in the Caribbean. But shagaramas has natural deep water harbors, and it allows us to become the pleasure craft capital of the Western world. Because when you watch the footage of the hurricanes, you see the painful hundreds of millions of dollars in losses as all of those hurricanes drive those pleasure crafts, motorboats, sailboats up onto the shore and destroy them. Trinidad is outside of the hurricane belt. It is in everybody's best interest to park their boats here. Trinidad's supposed to be the leader in the Western world for that. Florida gets more hurricane warnings a year than we do. A hurricane warning to the pleasure craft industry is measured in hundreds of millions of dollars as people race to safeguard their boats. That wouldn't be a cost if they were berthing in Trinidad. So imagine this country where we control the market for pleasure craft, sailboats, motorboats. And we optimize the pitch lake. And we're a proper shipping destination and a shipping turnaround country who is involved in massive cruise ship tourism that has a functional agriculture sector that has us food independent and a net food exporter, and also have oil and gas. Imagine this country. Imagine Trinidad and Tobago where the Labas, from the Labas to Sawa and beyond, you create a proper functional, duty-free commercial manufacturing zone so that people could come here and make watches, phones, radios, cars, jeans, clothes, anything. Duty-free. Manufactured in Trinidad. With Trinidad labor. 24/7. We have summer. We have summer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 369 days a year. Summer. Snow don't fall here. The cost of our labor is 1/7 that in America. So you've just divided your production cost by 7, at least the labor aspect of it. Imagine that sucking up all the idle labor in Mova, Beetham, Laventille, and Ceylons, giving those people hope and opportunity. Because when you bring companies like, say, LG and Samsung, and they're making plasma TVs in Trinidad, the next model that is coming down the line might be a curved TV. And you have to train people to install screens in a curved TV. So you have to tell them, those who are interested in elevating from A to B, because A, you're getting $22 an hour, but B, you will get $29 an hour. 3 weeks to teach you how to install a curved, and you go every night after work, and your family understand you're not seeing daddy for 3 weeks because you learn how to, but you're coming home after that 3 weeks with an extra $9 an hour. Extra $100 a day. Extra $2,000 a month. Imagine this country, those people, imagine a nation where you have a government. We ain't started talking yet about the actual operation of the country, you know. We've had those conversations a lot of times. But I'm talking to you now about our economy. Because our economy cannot continue to be shake 2 chicken foot and dance around a circle in Maruga and hope the price of oil go up. Because the price of oil is up now only because there's a threat of war and people are stockpiling. The flip side of that is that stockpile oil is a glut. If war don't happen, and it's highly likely because everybody in the world knows that Donald Trump is a madman. He's a madman. Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un and Kim Jong-un, all of them done with the shit, you know. Because Donald Trump would have wiped North Korea off the map. So the South Korea fight a war with North Korea since the 50s. Donald Trump in office 3 months now. And they shake hands, war done. It's either shake hands or that jackass wipe you off the map. You're here, no ISIS. You're hearing that? No Al-Qaeda. None of that bullshit. You're realizing that? Because Trump will bomb Mecca. He's a madman. Saudi Arabia said, hey, we out of the terrorism business. All on your own. And without Saudi funding, Al-Qaeda and ISIS collapse. You realize that not in the news no more. Because Trump is a madman. So Iran and Israel and all that saber rattling and Syria and all that bullshit, I trust that unless those people don't love their own children, they're going to back down. Because the American president is a madman. Putin knows that. Putin knows that all the talk, he could wrestle all the beer he wants to wrestle, walk around bareback and show people his man nipples, and all that is cool. But this is not Barack Obama. This is not Bill Clinton. This is not even George W. Bush. This is an actual living, breathing madman. And Putin knows that unless Russia wants to go to World War, he had to cool his ass. And instead of saber rattling, all these countries have to cool themselves because this time is not like normal time. Right now, people have to cool it. I remember the morning after 9/11, when the world didn't know who attacked America, but America was vexed. And the world knew America was vexed. And George W. Bush had failing ratings. And he was an ex-madman. And the world knew that America could have moved clumsy in the next 7 days, bombing accidentally, and people would have excused it. I remember the IRA and the government of Ireland made peace. Arafat gave blood Palestinian leader, he went and gave blood. That was on CNN. He gave blood for American lives. Fidel Castro, Mr. Biggest talk of all, say, hey, we had nothing to do with that, and we willing to help if all need any help at all. I watch the world understood a madman was in power. And all the bad guys boiled. Should you ever say, all Zandali find a hole? All Zandali find. Anybody who was in any bullshit at that point in time, back down one time. We didn't want to get caught in that crossfire. And that's what's going on now. That's what's going on now. For all the talk that Russia and China are giving America, nobody want to go to war. Nobody. So, all the bullshit that's going on in the Middle East, it had a press pause. Look at fight that war 5 years or 10 years when Trump gone. You see right now, there are no war. And the reason for me telling you all of that is that all the oil that people stockpiling now, they push the price of oil to just about where petrotrin breaks even. That's so funny, eh? Every other country in the world at $21, they're in profit. But we had to reach 70. Between 21 and 70, where does that money go? What does that pay for? Petrotrin has the most expensive operational cost in the world. In the petrochemical world, petrotrin is a drain and a waste. When oil is not $70 a barrel, whatever that cost is, the economy is absorbing. And OWTU and petrotrin don't want you to investigate that. But we need an investigation into that to arrive at a conclusion as to what to do with petrotrin as a nation. As a nation. These things we have to have as a conversation. We are spending $60 billion every year that we don't need to spend. It is my view that at least $30 billion of our annual $60 billion is either theft or paying down debts from mismanagement from the last 20, 30 years of PNM UNC bullshit. And you have to decide. Do you saddle your children for the rest of their lives? Do you look into the mirror and ask, boy, do I really want to stay in this country anymore? Or should I just pack up and leave and go and find a country? But you see, you better be liquid financially. You better be able to go in a next man's land and buy a house. And you better be properly organized where you could buy. Because you know, to get into America, if you invest $1 million, you get your work permit. Canada too. That's how they do it. It's a kind of tongue-in-cheek. You invested $1 million, you'll never get back. So you're basically paying for your work permit. But if you don't have that kind of money, and you're going over there, see the Venezuelan girl? She's a doctor. I know a girl who is a waitress in 2 restaurants, morning and evening. If you ever worked as a waiter or a waitress and understood how your feet feel at the end of the day, I don't know how to. I asked her, how do you do this? Why do you do this? She said, I have a limited amount of time and I need as much money as I could get. She was in engineering school. Half of them that you see working behind counters, taking your bullshit and waiting on you, are highly educated people. There are prostitutes in this country that have degrees because their country collapsed. And they have to come here and take what they get here. If Trinidad and Tobago, and I want to say this, I am all for controlled and orderly rescue of refugees. We are a signatory to the United Nations. And if ever our people need to go anywhere else, we need them to be respected as we respect other people. And the actual designated refugees, I have agreed to add my voice to their cause. And I'm going to meet with Living Water Community and the United Nations people to see what I can do to assist in whatever way possible however humble, because these people, if you are an actual refugee, we have to respect you. This girl, she was a doctor in Venezuela, in Trinidad. She hustling a minimum wage job under the counter to send money home. She didn't deserve to be raped by a taxi driver. And that is the gamble for our people in the future if our country economy collapses. And while donkey economics and jackass government is taking place in this country, all of our people are being put at risk. I just told you, imagine this country as a shipping hub, shipping turnaround, the marine pleasure boat center of the Western world, properly optimized pitch lake, food self-sufficient, net food exporter, cruise ship tourist leader. Imagine this country and also oil and gas. Imagine it. Massively wealthy. Imagine a government that removes all of the corruption from the financial food chain. Imagine if all of a sudden, when $5 billion is budgeted for healthcare, it is actually spent on proper healthcare. Imagine that. Imagine that, Trinidad and Tobago. This nation, Trinidad and Tobago, is supposed to be among the wealthiest nations per capita in the entire world. Trinidad and Tobago. We should be in the top 5. That's where we need to be. You are not going to get there with a jackass like Keith Rowley as your prime minister, a junkie monkey like Kamala. You're not getting there with Colm Imbert as a minister of finance, who told the nation that better days coming, but he didn't tell you how. And all he do was pick your pocket for the last 2.5 years. Life in Trinidad and Tobago is too expensive for the average person. We have 700,000 people living on or below the poverty line in a nation that should be the wealthiest, one of the wealthiest in the world, at least in the Western Hemisphere. We're in trouble. We're in trouble, and we're playing racial game. I white, you black, she brown, he yellow. Bullshit. Bullshit with that now. It's 1.4 million of us. We are all passengers on a sinking ship. Everybody looking to see how they could get off. Stop that. Let us rescue our country. Let us put the bullshit aside. Let us stop the nonsense, racism, the greed, the corruption. We are good, decent, loving people. We are naturally nice people. How did we end up like this? How do we fix it? How do we stop the racism? How do we get white people to respect black people and brown people and black people respect white people? How do we fix the institutional hurts? How do we stop the African-Indian bullshit political war? How we vote is not how we party. How do we fix that? Because everything that I tell you, forget me. I give it freely. There are people out there who could do it. It doesn't even have to be me. I swear, I don't want the job. I don't want nothing. I just want a better Trinidad and Tobago so that all my friends and family and everybody that I know could have a good life. A better nation. If you all know me at all, I ain't no bling man, I ain't no flams man, you know. I now own a watch because somebody sent me a watch. I own no jewelry. My last vehicle was a pickup. My new vehicle is a pickup. I ain't buying no Benz and BMW and Range Rover. If you all know me at all, I don't have brands. I don't know how to bling. I'm not interested in that. And I'm not looking to pose for girls. I think I'm good looking enough as it is. Girls just call me. I don't need to be in a position of power to attract more. Like half of these jackasses engaged in Viagra politics. And I'm trying to be as honest with you as I could. Because people are insisting that I continue to hold a role in the PEP, and I will hold that role in the PEP for as long as the people want it. But trust me, I ain't like Pandey, you know. You see how Pandey, I know what to do with himself. I know what to do with mine. I have a partner, I tell you, we talk Wednesday lunchtime, we want to be on the North Coast. Shaq and bake around your mouth. I don't need people to say, look, he powerful. That's not what I want for me. I want a country where we are all safe. We can all have a good life, where everybody is respected and given the same opportunities that everybody else has. That's what I want. Yes, I'm a little bit vexed because of what happened in this country with some of these blasted 1%ers and the thieves. Okay. And I'd like an opportunity to bring them to justice. I really would like that. I want to be the man that exposes prime ministers for you. I want to be the prime minister that tears that playhouse down. That's what I want. I want my people, Trinidad and Tobago people, black, white, red, green, and every shade in between, to live well and live happy, that they can't make a bad calypso about we because we just so damn friggin' happy. I want people who live in the cold and the snow in Canada to line up in the snow 3 o'clock in the morning to get a visa to come to Trinidad the way my people used to have to line up to go there. I want people all through the Caribbean, Jamaica, Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent to lie and say this Trini, practice we accent. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what everybody should want. We should all want enough. And enough for everybody. Imagine this country. Imagine this country. If everything that you were supposed to have done for you in this country was done. Imagine this country with proper government, proper leadership, proper plans, where the money is spent properly, where all of our people are treated with equality and respect, justice for all before all institutions of state, where home ownership, even for minimum wage earners, is a reality. Imagine this country where the farmer and the doctor are equally respected and the teacher and the police officer hold high esteem. Imagine this country. Imagine it. Since the 1980s, people who have known that we need to diversify the economy and have done nothing to diversify the economy. All those things that I told you tonight are easily within our grasp. These people do not diversify the economy because it gives too many people an opportunity to develop and to grow. There is a certain group of Trinidadians that want everybody else to be laborers and consumers to their business. They want to control the banks, control the interest rates, control the foreign exchange, and control who get to eat. That may be okay for some, but it's not okay for me. Now, I could pack up and leave, or I could say, you know what, let's all stand together and make that bullshit reality a thing of the past. Let's fix Trinidad and Tobago. Do you want that? How much longer will you tolerate a jackass, a donkey like Colm Imbert, making a mess of our economy when we could do so much better? How long?
When you put it, put them out. Put them out. If it is the passing laws, that them alone can flout. When you put it, put them out. Put them out. If it is the building ISIS, east, west, north, and south,
Just as how you put them in.
put them out.
Bust the throat.
Register and put them out. Totally put them out. Stay
Fire.
finger and put them out.
Rescue this country.
Put them out. Put them out with tempo. They happy in vain. Let's put our country together again.
Put them out of power.
Calypso and joy and red. Let's put our country together again.
This video was named Donkey Economics and Jackass Leadership for a reason, and I need to read this into the video. Not one step taken to diversify the economy or cut expenses, but government stunting about better days coming because of an uptick in the price of oil due to threats of war and global stockpiling. What utter foolishness. So when this little windfall has been used up, on what will we rely to run the country? First of all, a recession is recorded after 2 or more consecutive quarters of negative growth. Has the central bank advised that we have had a quarter of positive growth to say that the recession has been reversed? Or is this better days ahead nonsense being based solely on anticipated earnings? Or worse, is this to distract and fool the low information voter? Why not use the breathing space of any windfall to pay down debt, diversify the economy away from oil and gas and cut expenditure? Why not use it to create an economy less exposed to the vicissitudes of the boom and bust energy cycles, only expected to get worse as alternative energy sources get cheaper? Our parliament, government and cabinet have literally been reduced to a noise factory, with the Minister of Finance and Prime Minister doing too much distracting and misleading and not enough governing and leading. Since the crippling recession of the 1980s that wiped out much of our developing middle class and almost put us into the clutches of the IMF, we have known at the heart of all the decision making, diversification was critical. If the government is not interested in proper fiscal management and sound economic policies, then of what use are they? It is time to face the reality that they are devoid of a plan or a clue beyond oil boom, ham and jam politics, and that for us to have the first world developed nations we deserve, for us to ever achieve the paradise on earth this country was meant to be, we have to refuse to be distracted by any of this circus and theatre and work towards right-sizing this country. There's a lot of potential for greatness still inherent in Trinidad and Tobago. But having charlatans and morons make our decisions is us soberly deciding to let the drunks drive us home and praying to get there in one piece. It is time to save the baby and the bathwater. Step one in any such endeavor has to be the political annihilation of the destructive, divisive and corrupt PNM and UNC. We have a perfect opportunity to demonstrate our capacity for intelligent thinking and people power. Tell this arrogant and incompetent buffoon Colm Imbert and the circus troupe of which he is a part to miss us all with that bullshit.
If their policy is a policy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe, if they cannot cope and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to go. If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you put them on,
and meet the people and come and join and sign up and buy your cups, buy your caps, buy your jerseys, buy your bumper sticker, buy your flag, give us some money, help us build the party, add your voice, join our ranks, make yourself part of the rescue that is coming to save our country. Stop the hide and seek politics. Politics affects your life. Politics affects every aspect of your daily living. Come and have an impact on it. Add your voice to the organization that has changed the national narrative away from bacchanal and noise. All of a sudden, everybody talking issues before the PEP. It was roti politics and who bullying who. Remember that? Already remember that? The Progressive Empowerment Party has already changed the way politics is done. We're going one step further. We've told you all we've invested with 55 acres of land, farmland, and we're in talks with other people who are offering to give us more farmland too. We are starting a cooperative called Pep Farms, and we are calling on farmers who would like to work with us to grow food for their share of the profit. You don't have to put out nothing. Come and meet with us tomorrow at noon to discuss Pep Farms. We have a very good plan in place to prove the concept that this nation could be feeding itself and farmers could be making money. Tomorrow at noon, 19th Stanmore Avenue, the entire country is invited to come and join us. Those who could bake cake, those who could make sandwich, bring, bake and make and bring. Because we don't share what we have, but you don't have to bring nothing. It is free to come and join us. Yeah? Tonight I'll end up getting two videos because the first video ran for half hour and this video is a little more than an hour, so we real talk tonight. Somebody just sent me a poem and it was the hardest thing that I've ever had to read, and it is one verse long. Here it is. We will be consumed by the lava that spews from the volcano that is Venezuela, and the fires of TNT will light the sky as we burn. That is where we're heading. Trinidad and Tobago. There is nothing Kamala and Pandey and that circus troupe have to offer you. Nothing. Because if they did, if at any point in time they knew how to fix healthcare, fix education, fix the police service, make Trinidad food self-sufficient and right-size this economy, secure the borders and end crime, if at any point in time they had a clue or an interest in fixing those things, Kamala and Pandey and that band of morons would have done it. Same thing about the Jackass Brigade. Donkey economics and whole noise is all you have to get from the molestation bunch. Trinidad and Tobago needs to graduate beyond the foolishness of the PNM and the UNC, and the Progressive Empowerment Party has been created as a real political vehicle for all of the people to come together as one people under one flag. We are doing this. Come and join us. Add your expertise, add your skills, add your ideas, add your voice, add yourself. Come and be a volunteer. Give us some donations. We can really use all the help we could get. We're going to self-fund our way all the way into government. So all them 1%ers who think that they could control politics through their pockets have a rude surprise coming.
People must come first. Citizens by right. None of the others. Yellow, black or white. Who shelter and clothes. Free movement and speech. A gap that grows, and one love for each. If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, vote them wrong. Vote them wrong. If it is that avarice is all they seem to know,
for a music truck. Now, the reason for the music truck, and we don't need to own it, but if you have a truck that we can outfit with some music, is we want to take the message to the communities on a Sunday morning. We want to do walkabouts in your communities, playing these songs, songs of hope and deliverance. We want to bring it to you. We're not stopping working, you know. And they have no stunts from this party. Just real plans, programs, policies, and ideas. Good patriotic citizens willing to give of themselves. And a constant attempt at informing, educating, and empowering the people. Right now, our chairman, Felicia Holder, is in Canada. I was supposed to attend that meeting. And there's some information about things that are going on in the courts right now that are meant to silence me and the work that we're doing that I can't talk about right now. But I promise you, when it gets behind us, you wouldn't believe the Machiavellian machinations that they are trying to prevent us interrupting some of the things that go on in this country in the name of greed and governance. But we will stick a pin. But you know me, I'm coming with it. As soon as I have freedom to speak, I'm coming with it. Because at the end of the day, freedom of speech is the most critical underpinning. As I say, I may not agree with what you say, but I'll fight to the death for your right to say it. And it's a critical underpinning of this country. And all of these things have to be addressed. We have to fix these things. And we're not going to fix it outside, throwing stones on the parliament window. We are going to fix this from inside, using the power of your vote to elect into public office a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, dedicated to a better life for all of the people. Trinidad and Tobago was made to be a paradise on earth. 56 years is a blink in time. We can forget and get past this. We're still pregnant with potential to be one of the wealthiest nations in the world, and we could do it. Tomorrow at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue. If you have a music truck or music equipment, or you're a DJ, or in any way would like to help with this initiative, please get involved with us, message us, and we would like to work with you. peptrinbago@gmail.com is the email address. As the principal email address, peptrinbago@gmail.com. We have an app, Pep app, P-E-P-A-P-P, free to download on all of the app stores. 347-4PEP is the hotline. 347-4PEP. That's the hotline number. PepTT.com is the website. We now have Pep Radio beta testing. It's available on the app. I think it's going to be available on the website soon. And that's it for that. If you have the time and you're available tomorrow, come and have a conversation with the family you never knew you always had. Because when people are telling you it is the greatest feeling in the world to meet new people on a Saturday, and 2 weeks later to see them so entrenched in this party. People don't just get involved, you know, they just own it. It's the control of it. I'm telling you, I have a partner. The man, boy, he make me work to get him to sign that application form, the join membership form to join. And now, he's the hardest working pepper, he in everything. And that is proof of concept that this is home. This is family. This is all of we. One people under one flag. Come and be a part of this. I was in the process of apologizing to the people of Canada for not being there, and I hope to do a live video just for you, interactive. And I really, really am so proud of the work done by Anil Miraj, Marissa and her husband Riyadh, Naz Ghafoor, and the rest of the team up in Canada. You all are so integral and important to what we are doing. Ali G, as head of the international chapters, I'm going to ask you to send more apologies to you. I know Felicia is doing it now. A lot of this is beyond my control. We are in the process of setting up right now in the United Kingdom a chapter. We have a chapter in Florida. The PEP is international. Let them play with me. Anyway, going forward, tomorrow at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Come down, come and see. Even if you don't like me, they have so much nicer people there. Come and be a part of the change that is for all of us to benefit from going forward. You want to have the conversation? Come tomorrow. Everybody's invited. Until tomorrow, stay safe tonight.